One day I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Oh, hey, Dana Guitar Class. Looks like you caught me in my more native habitat, deep down in my heart. I'm a bit of a hillbilly. Let me switch into something a little more appropriate. All right. Let's see if this works a little better. I'm not sure what that was all about. I mainly wanted to make this video today to congratulate you on your pretty fantastic coffeehouse performance. I've seen a lot of those over the years, and usually there's a few places where things get a little rocky in the road, and I feel like you guys kind of nailed it. There was one little funny timing thing in that last performance of Blues in G. No, second to last performance in Blues in G. But otherwise, even that, everyone kind of like synchronized over whatever that little rhythmic hiccup was, and I don't think the audience even knew. But there was something I saw that was really kind of an interesting moment, and that was when the kids from the class that came to watch us, or came to watch you, when they joined you on the stage or in the orchestra, or whatever you want to call it, when they came up and sat with amongst all the other guitar players, and you were showing them how to play the guitar. And I saw a lot of question marks on everyone's faces. And from a person who is charged with teaching guitar to you guys, it was fairly interesting for me to watch. And one thing that I have found through teaching is that it really helps you learn when you have to explain what you're doing to someone else. Probably more than anything, years and years of teaching guitar helped me to more deeply understand so many musical concepts. I can't tell you how many times I heard certain types of phrases when I was learning music that I kind of remembered hearing them, but they didn't quite sink in. And it took a minute for it to absorb into me. I know it might appear as if I'm kind of a fearless and limitless musician or whatever, but there were plenty of things that I was challenged with whenever I was learning how to play. But I was very inspired by watching you guys have to figure out, like how to get these kids to do something on their instrument. I mean, this is my daily challenge with you guys. I hope that for those of you that got a chance to do that you'll spend a little bit of time thinking about, like, how could you more effectively have explained to them what it was they needed to do. I believe it was just to play the open G on the third string of the guitar. When you started out in this class, most of you didn't know anything. Now you played whatever it was, 6 or 7 songs, 8 songs. I think you did a really nice job. I think the thing that I would like you to consider after having worked on that material and perfected it and performed it is, how would I tell someone who doesn't know how to do this what it is they needed to do in order to play the guitar? There's another topic that ties into this a little bit that I have wanted to make a video about. I actually made a rather long one. I might link it in the description of this video because it's long. It's like 30 minutes long, but it's on an important topic, and it's probably one of the most important topics that you may ever confront in your life in education. And that is the concept of learning how to learn. Teaching someone how to learn is a really challenging task from someone on the outside. I think it's on the inside where we start to recognize that we learned something. From the outside, I can look at you and I can explain something, and I might even be able to get you to repeat it back to me. But whether or not you really understand it and can interpret it is fairly deep in there. I know for me that when I was in middle school and even in high school, no one really told me how to learn. Maybe they did, but I didn't hear them, or I didn't understand what they were saying to me, and it seems like an abstract concept. I stand in front of you as a teacher. When I do that, I'm saying words at you, I'm demonstrating how to play some things. that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to mean anything to you. I can ask you to participate with me in some way, like, can you describe how you would play a C on the B string? Or can you describe how an A appears on the staff? But, I can't ask everybody, and not everybody even wants to try to answer. For one reason or another, they're afraid to get it wrong, and they think there's something wrong with getting it wrong. I mean, really, if you get it wrong, it's an opportunity for me to discuss it with you and maybe help you figure out how to get it right. I'm interested in you trying. I'm not interested in you succeeding the first time. If you're succeeding the first time at everything I tell you, well, I guess that makes me brilliant, or maybe I'm not challenging you enough. The concept of learning how to learn was something that for me didn't come until I started to embrace things that I was really interested in. When I was going to high school, I wasn't particularly interested in it. And maybe this isn't the greatest ad campaign for me, but I was not a super successful student, and that created some challenges for me. I wasn't that interested in the content of the classes that I was taking, but in the things I was interested in, I was pretty deeply and richly inspired to study it and learn it. And sometimes I went about it in like the most insanely difficult ways, but I didn't have anybody to teach me, and it all had to do with music and playing the guitar. I mean, there's a couple little sidelines in my life where I do a lot of like electronic and technical stuff, but in the context of this class, I really want to keep it on the guitar, I think. It wasn't until much later in my life that I think I discovered that I have learning techniques. It's through those techniques that you can begin to acquire any kind of information that you need to. It doesn't always have to be information that you are deeply interested in. It does make it easier, but life doesn't work out that way. You're gonna have to learn some things that you're not interested in as you go along. I would not encourage anyone to do what I did. It sort of worked out for me, but it has its own challenges. The sooner you can examine yourself and how it is that you learn about the things that you love that you might not participate in school. It could be a hobby, it could be computer games, it could be light up keyboards and mouses for gaming, it could be makeup and hair products and clothing or shoes or whatever. Somewhere you are exposing yourself to the information that continues to feed and inspire whatever it is that you're interested in. And I want to encourage you to examine those things that you love, that you study on your own, and see if you can analyze how it is that you learn about it. I mean, you might watch a video on YouTube about someone telling you something and you go, I like this person and I want to believe what they say. But maybe an important add-on to that would be, well, why do they like it? Why are they saying it's good? Is someone paying them to say it's good? And there's a lot of that on YouTube. Or are they really doing a good job of explaining maybe the quality of the item that you're interested in or the richness of the topic that you're researching? I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. Everyone's an individual. I would happily discuss figuring out how it is that you learn with anybody. I wish someone would have done it with me, and I could have then maybe like learned how to apply that to topics I wasn't all that interested in. Because when you run into something that's challenging, I mean, the path of least resistance is avoidance. Does that concept make sense to you guys? The path of least resistance, that's the easiest way to go, and that is to just go around it. I don't want to learn this. Or I'm just going to shut down and be quiet and sit here and stare at this music stand or look in this book or quietly mess with my phone out of sight. All of those distractions that we create for ourselves are avoidance techniques. If you have another tool that you can apply to the concept of trying to learn something, you may find that, you may find something useful in there. Well, I think this is a pretty scattered video. I haven't made any in a long time. I just wanted to do something to congratulate you on a great performance. I thought maybe every time I do this, well, actually, I've never published a video where I have an electric guitar to play for you guys. My long 30-minute video that I might link to in the description about, my story, sort of my origin story and how I learned how to learn. It may interest you, it may not. I'm not going to publicly post it on this channel just because it's so scattered, just like this video. It's a difficult topic, but it's really important. All right, I think I'm going to go back to my hillbilly ways and continue playing my mandolin. That's sort of my favorite thing to do. Let's see, here we go. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys in class. I'm just going to get back to being a hillbilly again, so here we go. Oh, little girl of mine in Tennessee, I know you'll be waiting there for me. One day I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee.